is a truck from the 1980s. And that's a brand new truck.
Did I hit something?
Trucks have gotten way bigger, but...
Yeah. We know, genius, we know. Thanks for telling us the obvious.
I know, let me get to the point. But have they gotten any better? I want to find out why trucks have ballooned in size and if it's as big of a problem as people say it is.
Every day, about 100 people are killed in an auto accident. A new report finds the size of your car can play a major role.
Because I think I have a problem. I think I'm addicted to little old trucks.
Now, I can appreciate all trucks, but today I want to find out if the criticisms against the new ones are true.
Jimmy, no!
First, let's start with size and utility.
181, 15 feet. That is 245, 20 and a half feet.
Damn.
Over 5 feet longer, 20 inches wider,
Yep.
and 10 inches taller.
Jeez. Dude, this guy's a unit.
So despite this thing being an absolute behemoth, the bed, the thing that trucks are kind of defined by, is only about 5 inches longer. So the real question is, what the hell is going on with truck sizes?
Pickup trucks have long held a special place in American culture. Rugged vehicles designed for towing and hauling, the same thing that they're used for today. Except back then they were using things like the Ford Model TT. You know, they were hauling around heavy-duty soups for heavy-duty people at the time, and they were doing it with just 4 cylinders and 28 horsepower. Pickup trucks mostly stayed the same until like the 1940s, you know, after World War II. People wanted bigger, heavier-duty trucks with V6s and V8s, you know, for hauling around all that soup. But the thing is, pickup trucks have always been an important piece of America's industrial fabric. Americans fell in love with trucks, and I mean, how could they not? They are awesome.
Trucks have come to symbolize strength, progress, freedom.
Trucks just got better and better until I think they peaked in the 80s and 90s.
I mean, this is the kind of truck that Toyota's reputation was built on. Fully boxed ladder frames, front to back. They were heavy duty and they were lightweight. With that reliability and ruggedness came the fact that you could repair these things with a hammer. It's simple engineering, that was the best part. And if you got one of these in 85 and before, you could even get a solid axle on the front of this thing. And those things, these were reliable, like ridiculously reliable. I'm not against 4-cylinder engines in trucks as long as they're anything like the 22 RE. I mean, this thing was meant to be driven on the limiter for 1,000,000 miles, and many people did. And the price, dude, these things are a regime change on a budget. In 1988, you could have gone out to a Toyota dealer and bought one of these for around $10,000. Manual transmission, manual transfer case, just linkages, no electronics. I love these things. They are the greatest trucks ever built. And it wasn't just this truck, it wasn't just Toyota. In the 80s and 90s, manufacturers were making some of the greatest trucks. The D21 hardbody, the Isuzu Hombre, the OBS Fords, the 2nd-gen Dodge Ram with the 12-valve and then the 24-valve Cummins. Bellissimo, my friend. But at least new trucks, they have gotten safer, right?
Man, I really hope there's not a herd of school kids right here. It looks clear. Is everything okay? Is there something in front of me?
You can't see a single one of those?
No, I don't see any heads. All right, off we go. Just another day in Inglewood. Whoops. Are they okay?
They were just walking home from school.
Well,
This truck does not come with a front camera. It's not like we're just avoiding it. There are literally no sensors on the front of this truck. You can buy a truck this big without any extra safety equipment on it. The other thing is Jimmy is sitting in the seating position. There is no up on this chair. This is a tilt mechanism, and then it has a back and forth. Those are the only things you can do with this chair.
my eye line cannot get any higher.
If you just kind of go right, you should be safe.
Right?
Go ahead, Jim, make that slight turn. Holy hell. He beat the brakes off that kid.
Oh my God. Whoops.
Luckily, your child doesn't need both arms.
Yeah, I didn't quite see him right there.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's good? Whoa. Nice tattoo. This thing's a tank.
You would have no idea that you've just run over a child.
No.
camera in the front.
He's got no camera in the front. Do you want to ride past in front of it
In
and
a
see it?
wheelchair?
Do you want to try a wheelchair? We have one inside.
Okay, I'll try it.
Yeah, if you park your bike for a second. I'm just walking my friend home from a meniscus tear and I forgot my wallet on the ground. You didn't hit my friend, did you?
No, I didn't. I can see the full hand.
Enough to stop?
Yeah.
Better not tear your meniscus. Get hit by a big truck. Bigger, taller cars has meant bigger, taller grills. This grill right here is 53 inches. I mean, I'm 6'5" and this thing almost comes up to my shoulder. If I get hit by this, I'm either going through the front end or under this thing. As opposed to cars like sedans and coupes, where the lower profile, the slanted front end, if I get hit here, I'm going over and I'm dissipating my energy over the front end of the car. And this isn't just Zach's mythical mind science. No, this is backed up by statistics. Pedestrians hit by these large, blunt profiles are 45% more likely to die.
The consequences are showing up in fatality statistics. Pedestrian deaths in the US have surged as large vehicle sales have climbed. In 2021, 7,342 pedestrians were killed, the highest number recorded in 4 decades. Our roads are just as dangerous now as they were in the 1970s, and that was before they even outlawed drunk driving in all 50 states.
And statistically, you're 159% more likely to kill somebody in a crash if you're driving a big truck versus having a small car. And I get it. Look, you're subject to the things that are in the market, and there's only big cars on the market. If it were my mom, I'd want her to be safe. I'd want her to be in a big car. Jesus. America's truck obsession, whether we like it or not, is contributing to rising traffic fatalities, while other countries, they're declining. So what happened? Why did trucks get so big? Well, this is the part where I finally tell you. In the 1970s, we had an oil crisis, and that drove the price of gas up a lot. In fact, gas prices more than tripled, from 30 cents a gallon to about $1 a gallon. As a result of that, this guy named Ronaldinho Reagan instituted this thing called CAFE. It stands for Corporate Average Fuel Economy. Basically, every year, automakers had to get a little bit better and a little bit better in their miles per gallon. In theory, that's not a bad thing either. We wean off of our oil and gas dependency a little bit, plus we get more efficient cars as consumers. However, when they created CAFE, they created 2 separate categories, one for cars and one for trucks. And the reason that they did that actually made sense at the time, because a lot of the trucks that were on the roads were being used for work purposes. They weren't as prevalent on our streets as they are today. All's going well until about the 2000s. Automakers, surprise, surprise, they're in bed with the government, and they've pretty much dismantled CAFE. Big ones, like Ford, for example, start arguing, how are we supposed to compete on these same efficiency standards as a small car company like Mini that makes like 4 really fuel-efficient cars, where we make a huge line of cars, everything from a Fiesta to an F450. And the government says, why don't we actually make a little carve-out for vehicle footprint stuff? The larger the car becomes, the footprint of it, the wheelbase, the track width, the exterior of the vehicle, the less stringent of a standard for efficiency that it has to adhere to. Yeah, that's why trucks all of a sudden became so giant, to get through this CAFE government loophole. I mean, this is a win for manufacturers. I mean, think about it. They get to build bigger vehicles, which means bigger profits. They have to innovate less. We lost out as consumers. You're telling me that they couldn't have made a fuel-efficient V8 by now? But if gas prices were rising, how did manufacturers convince consumers that they needed bigger, less efficient vehicles? Marketing, baby. Marketing! In the year 1990, manufacturers were spending $172.5 million a year on truck advertising. By the year 2000, they were spending $1.51 billion. Think about that. Our caveman brains are not developed enough to fend off that onslaught of marketing derangement. Look at the Ford website. It's Truck Month, for God's sake. I want to feel like Luke Bryan on a Friday night, ripping Marlboro 100s and hanging my truck nuts out the back.
I got my big white jacked up truck rolling on 35s.
I want trucks bad, and so does America. And look, it's not your fault, it's not my fault. We've been persuaded that we need bigger, badder trucks. There's somebody above us making these decisions. He's the fiddler. And he's fiddling, constantly fiddling.
What's he doing in there? Oh, I want a truck. GMC 2500 Denali? I go to an Italian restaurant. He fiddles me there. Oh, I want a linguine. How about I fiddle your linguine? You don't want him to fiddle you, do you? You walk away from me! Come here!
We didn't want this to just be my opinion. We wanted to ask the people that use these trucks hard every single day what they prefer. So we came to the Home Depot. In 2018, the average truck price was around $48,000. By 2025, the average was $60,000. It's a pretty big hike. Consequently, this has put trucks even further out of reach for people that actually need them.
The price is just out of hand. I'll just put it that way.
60,000? Oh, that's way overpriced for a truck.
Yeah.
Max 48,000.
I would agree with you.
No, que no tenga tanto extra, porque si quieres extra es más caro, ¿no? Para el trabajo no es necesario.
These are just a few examples. Others we talked with had similar things to say. It's time to go back to Donut for one final, very scientific test. We figured we would go back to the Stone Age and draw and quarter a child.
Back her down. You're pulling him. Yep.
So where does this take us? Do we eventually get to a place where everyone drives a giant truck? Are we in a nuclear arms race where to feel safe on the road, you need to have the biggest machine? I want small, rugged, tough, and reliable trucks back. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that want the same thing.
On 3.
1, 2, 3. Yes!
Well, he seems okay.
Damn.
Oh,
Little truck broke rope. We broke rope, not child. Child is a symbol of
America.
yes, the point is, he's united us on one thing, and that is our love for smaller trucks.
Yeah, this thing's a beast, dude.
Exactly. And even though on paper, that one has more power and it has better towing, better hauling,
More comfortable.
little truck stronger.
Little truck stronger.
There you have it.
Or the rope was just really dry rotted and it snapped because it was old.
Stop. Was this test pointless? Absolutely. But the real question is, are bigger trucks better trucks? Manufacturers have been gaming the system, stretching size limits, cashing in on loopholes, and calling it progress. Maybe, just maybe, we as truck owners and car enthusiasts can start demanding better trucks and not just bigger trucks. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.